Hello and welcome back to another one of Paul's beer reviews. Hope you're doing well today. Got a beer from Wychwood for you today, and it's a golden beer, and it is a bottle of Dry Neck, and it's coming in at 4% ABV. Wychwood, who have gone with this really rubbish, bland looking artwork in the last year or so, to completely change their artwork. I have moaned about this in the past, so I'm not going to do it again. This is a 4% ABV golden beer. There is the Wychwood bottle cap. Bit of flavour text on the back. It says, malts of the palest hue combined with the magic of mosaic hops create refreshingly fruity aromas and thirst-quenching flavours of sweet citrus and dark berry fruits. The perfect beer to quench the driest of throats. Produced by Marston's, obviously, which were now owned by Marston's. Have been for a while now. Can't see any ingredients. No ingredients listed on the bottle, which is a bit odd. Just says that it contains barley for those with allergies. But yeah, 4% ABV. Golden beer. £1 a bottle in Morrison's. £1. So yeah, a golden ale with mosaic hops in it. Mosaic hops, it's quite a broad range of aromas and flavours you can get with mosaic. Mosaic can often be citrusy, it can often be tropical. So that just because it says mosaic on the back of it doesn't necessarily mean that you can just categorise a beer. It's lively. Wow, okay, I even got all of that in there. Good head has developed on that beer. It's very clear. Gold in colour. Carbonation sticking to my glass, even though I've just cleaned it. That doesn't look very good. Apologies for that. It's got a solid 2-finger, quite a fluffy looking white head on it. Crystal clear. Gentle carbonation rising up the glass there. It's not a madman. But it looks quite nice on the eye. Let's get the aroma. That was a funny noise. That is quite a nice aroma. There is a subtle passion fruit on the aroma. Bit of citrus. Oh, smells very fresh. Smells quite light and fruity. I mean, it says dark berries. Dark berry fruits. I'm not sure I'm getting dark berries. It's more citrusy and a little bit of a tropical aroma to it. I'm not really getting the dark berries. Maybe that's the slightest. Maybe the slightest blackberry on it, but it's predominantly lemon and passion fruit and a little bit of mango. Smells really inviting. I'm going to top it up, get the rest of that in there. Got to say, it looks lovely. That's a really nice floral, fresh fruit kind of aroma to it. I'm intrigued. Let's get stuck in. Cheers. I've got to say the flavour doesn't quite back up the aroma. That was a really nice aroma. Really nice floral, fresh fruit aroma to this. But the flavour is slightly bland. It's a bit meh. You know, not a great deal. Citrusy on arrival, lemon, lime, bit of grapefruit, and the bitterness takes over on this one very quickly. There's a bitter citrus flavour and a bitter citrus backbone to this beer throughout, and it lingers as well. That bitterness lingers. It's actually okay, but when you smelt it, I was expecting a bit more on the flavour, you know. grapefruit, lemon, lime. There is a subtle mango, most subtle bit of mango on the flavour there as well. Carbonation is really gentle on this one. And it's got a good bitter kick at the back end. But it's predominantly citrusy and predominantly bitter. It's more of the bitter side of the hops that takes over on this one. That's why I think the main way to describe it is citrusy. Citrus bitterness to it, and it lingers. But it is very refreshing. It's not bad at all. For £1 a bottle, it's quite complex. It's quite rewarding. It's quite interesting on the palate. It gets your tongue thinking. Gets your brain working over, that's for sure. I've certainly had worse beers. Excuse me. £1 for a bottle of dry neck. And they just describe it as a golden beer. I mean, there's a lot more going on with it. The description of the beer on the bottle doesn't really do it any justice. It's very subtly hopped, I would say, with Mosaic, but it does just enough to give it a nice light complexity. It's not going to blow your mind, but it is very refreshing. It is tasty, and I would drink it again, and I would probably buy it again for £1 a bottle. I don't see why not. It's like a kind of entry-level pale ale, this one. You know, if you like your citrusy kind of pale ales or citrusy IPAs, you might quite like this. You might quite like it. It's light-bodied. It's actually quite thin. No real coating of the palate, this one, other than the bitterness from the hops at the back end. That kind of hangs around. That's really covering my palate, but nothing else. The fruitiness, the citra flavour to it, citrus flavour to it, should I say, is brief, but does enough. Does enough. So I'm pleasantly surprised with it. It's a good kind of entry level sort of IPA. Pale ale type of a beer. If you've not had it before, I recommend you try it for £1. Can't go wrong, can you? £1 a bottle, Morrison's, Wychwood dry neck. It's hard to know how to score it. I'm sort of coming to the conclusion here, and I'm thinking I would buy that again. I would drink it again. But does that make it necessarily a good beer? It's not a bad one. But am I going to come to a conclusion and say, yeah, it's a really good beer? Because I don't think I can. Really, it's not a great beer, but it's half decent. It's half decent. There's a lot more going on with it than I expected, to be fair. I think it kind of understates itself. It just says dry neck, 4% golden beer. It doesn't really do a lot to throw itself off the shelf at you, you know. But having drunk it now, I would recommend, you want a good, cheap, complex beer, try it. Definitely. For £1, what you got to lose? Citrusy. Subtle tropical mango fruit type flavour to it. Gentle carbonation. And a nice hoppy bitterness. Very slight bready malt character to it as well throughout. But I'm enjoying it. I would drink that again happily. Score, I'm going to give it a 7. In terms of value for money, that's absolutely fantastic, and it's a very complex beer. That's quite decent. 7 out of 10 for Wychwood's dry neck 4% ABV golden beer, £1 a bottle in Morrison's. Go check it out. Hope you enjoyed the video, guys. If you have, give it a big thumbs up. And until my next one, you take care.